Hi everyone, welcome back to Susan Dawn Spiritual Connections. Welcome to a brand new Sacred Union Energy Update. I wanted to do this Sacred Union Energy Update to share some of my experiences and see what's going on in the collective with the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, and Union energies. Remember to take these as it resonates for your inner masculine and feminine, for your connection or relationship, and remember that those connections have a spiritual component and energetic component to it. And you can also take it for the collective energy as well, because as you're going through your individual ascension, and this is the Sacred Union Path of Ascension, you're catalyzed to your ascension journey through perhaps a counterpart or through this Sacred Union Path. As you're going through your own ascension, the collective, the greater whole, the global planet is going through its own ascension as well. So you can apply it and see your own journey through that macro and micro levels as well of consciousness as well. But I wanted to check in today and see what's going on for the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine, because I had a little bit of an experience that made me chuckle and then really got into my heart space. So as you know, music is an important experience that we all tend to have on our Sacred Union path. We call it music downloads, where you and your counterpart will communicate via music, sometimes just energetically, sometimes you'll share music. Music is just an important role. It plays an important part. Music is that universal, energy that really gets into the core of you. It really helps you to feel and access those emotions and access that soul of you. And so sometimes music is how you express yourself. At least that's been how it was in my connection. I know it's been pretty universal for those on this path as well. So I went for a drive, a fairly long drive, just this past week. And usually what happens is when I get into the car, my car will automatically start playing randomly my phone playlist. It's connected to the Bluetooth, so it'll start playing a random track. If I'm not already listening to something, it'll just pick up a track and just start playing a random track on my playlist. And so I got into the car and I turned the ignition on, and immediately my car started playing a song that my counterpart had shared with me. And I consider the music that he shared with me as sacred. I hold it very near and dear to my heart, because I always recognized that was, at least I thought, I always found meaning in it, because to me it was his way of communicating, his way of expressing himself. And so I always took that, and it was meaningful for me. Because I always received it in that way, that he was expressing something to me. It wasn't just a song, it wasn't just music. It always felt like more than that. Now, whether or not that's true, that remains to be seen. He has said the opposite, but regardless, that's how I always took it, as he was expressing himself to me, as he was communicating through music. So, I always considered the music that he sent as sacred, as important, and as meaningful. So I get in the car this day, and immediately out of the hundreds and hundreds of songs that's on my playlist, that's on my phone, this song comes on. And I'm just not having it. I'm just not feeling it that day. I'm just like, no, I just pushing it away. I do not want to feel. I just want to enjoy myself and enjoy my drive and enjoy where I'm going. And so the song comes on, I'm like, nope, nope, not having it. And I hit the next track button. And then another song comes on, and it's actually one of my songs. It's a song from Shinedown called Call Me. And I'm just going, Jesus, like, holy crap. Like, okay, well, number one, no, is what I'm saying. But also, I just allow myself to enjoy the song, and I allow myself to enjoy the music. And as I'm listening to the track and I'm driving on the back roads, I'm thinking, this is really hitting home for me. I'm really feeling this. And I'm letting memories of my ex, my catalyst counterpart, come through, and I'm allowing myself to feel and heal whatever is wanting to be healed in the moment, because I am recognizing that there is something that is coming up to the surface for me, something that is being recognized, that I need to be aware of, that's healing. But it's interesting. It's not that I am receiving this from him energetically. In fact, I'm not feeling his energy. It feels more like this is me vocalizing what I want to say or vocalizing how I feel. And the more I listen to the lyrics, it's more about how I feel about him and how I feel about the situation, especially at this stage of my journey, at this stage of my life. And so the songs that are really starting to hit, or the lyrics that are really starting to hit home, I have the lyrics here just so I can remember them. It's interesting. Call me a sinner, call me a saint, tell me it's over, I'll still love you the same. Call me your favorite, call me the worst. Tell me it's over, I don't want you to hurt, it's all that I can say, so I'll be on my way. And over the past several months, I've been really allowing myself to accept and continue to just move forward on my path and move forward on my journey, move forward with my life. And I'm feeling this energy of just love and gratitude for him. And, you know, we've said awful things to each other and you know, I wasn't treated the best. But I also realized that no matter what, you know, I will never want him to hurt and never intentionally hurt him and never want anything but the best for him. Even if we never see each other or speak again, you know, that's how I have felt throughout my whole journey with him. In any kind of separation, I have always felt like I will always, always love him and always want the best for him and always want him to be happy and healthy and successful in whatever he wants, in any of his dreams or any of his goals. Like, I always want him to be happy and just want the best for him. And so it's really speaking to my soul, and it's like I'm really feeling these lyrics because it's really speaking like no matter what has been said to me and about me from him, you know, there's forgiveness there and there's just love there. Does that mean I'm gonna accept any of that anymore? Absolutely not. But it's just kind of allowing for that forgiveness and allowing for that love. And that's how I know that I have unconditional love for him. It's because I only ever want the best for him. And so I'm thinking about this and listening to the lyrics and having this on repeat because it's really allowing me to get into this meditative state as I'm driving, as these lyrics are playing and really getting into my soul. And I'm saying, you know what, like, I'll still love you. I'll still love you. And that's how I know, like, I'll still love you. And he was a great catalyst for me. And he was a great partner for me. And he was my best friend. And so there's this part that I just started crying at. It says, I had to make a choice that was not mine. I had to say goodbye for the last time. And it's like, oh my gosh, that was my story. Like, you know, he ghosted me, he blocked me, he stopped talking to me, he didn't want to repair or resolve anything. He seemed to not want anything to do with me anymore. It seems like he hates me, and so I have to make a choice that's not mine because he already made that choice, and I have to keep moving forward in my life. I have to keep, you know, I have to respect that and respect his wishes and keep loving myself and honoring myself. And you know, I could go the other way and crumble, but I've done that before. I've experienced that before, and that doesn't help anybody, and especially not myself. And life keeps going, and so I have to keep choosing the best for myself because I want the best for myself, just like I want the best for him. And so it's interesting. God knows I tried, and this part is what really got me. I'll always keep you inside. You healed my heart and my life, and you know I've tried. And this is where my heart just completely, if you guys can hear the emotion in my voice, my heart just completely unlocked with just so much gratitude. And any pain and anger and resentment that I had been feeling in little pockets, because I've been healing so much anger and allowing myself to feel angry for how I was treated and how the connection was treated and all that stuff. I had taken accountability for my role. I was allowing myself to feel angry for the role that he played. I was allowing myself to feel all the emotions and allowing myself to work through any triggers that I was feeling. And what I felt in this moment was all of that where it was coming up in pockets as I was healing that, because I haven't felt anger or resentment in quite a while. But it would come up every once in a while. It would come up to be cleared and to be looked at and to be healed. And I'd say, okay, what do I still need to look at? What do I still need to heal? What do I still need to examine and be aware of within myself? And so I would be doing this healing. But now it's like the only thing that I felt was love and gratitude. And it really felt like a chapter closed. It really felt like, and I've been going through that transition for quite a while now, but it really felt like that chapter had closed on my life and on that part of my life. And I just feel very open to whatever's being written next. And you guys have heard me channel this before. It's like we have different phases of our sacred union path. And what they had brought to me was that there's that one circle, that one cycle, that can include many little cycles as part of it, but it's like one circle. And this is essentially that the healing aspect of your journey. And then you have, it's like the Vesica Pisces. And then you have the other part that you're kind of moving into. You have this little transition period that you might go back and forth a little bit. But then you have that next phase, which is almost like the twin flame and then the twin soul. And the twin soul is more of the calm, the harmony, the union energy. And that's what this felt like. It felt like, that intense energy of healing had really drawn to a close. And that energy is behind me now as I'm moving into a new energy and a new version of self and a new recognition of self. And within that recognition of self, I have a higher consciousness and awareness of what healthy connection is and what healthy partnership is and what healthy healing together is. And having looked at my attachment style and looked and healed to become more secure within myself when it comes to attachment style, and to look at healthy communication and to heal where I was not communicating in healthy ways. So that first phase of the journey was the massive healing, the deep dives, the dark nights of the soul, the massive layers of healing. And then that twin soul energy is the higher heart ascension. It's more harmony, and it's learning and growing, but rather than through the pain which you've been clearing in that first version, in that first part of your journey, it's now the healing through that harmony, and through love, and through just this more harmonious energy, more joyful energy. And so that, again, you don't know what you don't know. So, having gone through that first initial phase of my journey, I can see the difference now in my own energy, and I can see the difference in my own life and how I approach things and how I communicate and how I interact in healthy connections. So it's interesting because it feels like a huge chapter has come to a close, and finally, after a lot of transition energy going back and forth, it feels like something new is being written here. Now, as I've shared before in the Ascension relationship updates, it's going to relate to everybody a little bit of a different way. For myself, I still don't know how it's occurring, but I feel very open, especially as I have new understanding of connection relationships, and I'm seeing that reflected back to me in relationships and connections. So for some, it's the person that you've been going through this phase of your journey with, the twin flame, I'll call it the twin flame phase of the journey. That person, having gone through their own growth and transformation cycle, clearing out their own karma, being very cognizant and aware of themselves, and even aware of the connection, is coming in, and you'll be doing the second part of the journey together. For others, that was a catalyst connection, a catalyst counterpart, and you'll be having new connections, soulmate connections, high vibrational soulmate connections, maybe even new counterparts come in to help you with that second phase of your journey, because relationships are all about growth. Your greatest growth occurs in relationship. So we're going to be doing a soulmate reading. I've had my own experiences with soulmate energy. There's platonic and there's romantic connections coming through. So a number of you have experienced this. You've emailed me and you've shared that you've been experiencing this as well. So both platonic and romantic connections have been coming through along your path. But there's something to be said for those soulmate connections, because those soulmate connections, they teach you and they show you more about yourself. Just in a higher energy that maybe your counterpart was not able to show you, because there were still triggers, there was still wounding, there was still operating from that other level of consciousness, and you weren't able to heal together or grow together. So there are connections that are coming through, and maybe you'll have lifetime partnerships with those other counterpart connections or soulmate connections, and maybe that's just paving the path for reunion for the counterpart. Everything's up in the air, and the most important thing to understand right now is the path is still unfolding. We think we have a template for what twin flame and twin soul is, but your sacred union is a path of evolution. It's the story of your own personal evolution. And so even the template that we think we know is based on an old paradigm. Even the template of information that is given there, the blueprint for twin flames, that's even based on old information and an old template. It's still unfolding, and it's unfolding in a number of different ways. So allow yourself to be open, because twin flame is an energy. And it's an energy that is for your individual growth, and you do that through growing together. And again, that has a ripple effect. Now, that's not to say the power and the magnitude of the counterparts as they come together is quantifiable. It is magnified. We channeled that at the very beginning of our journey, where when two counterparts come together in the energy of love, it's like a supernova. It's like you create like a new universe. The power, the magnitude is like tenfold because of the love that you experience, because of the unconditional love that you experience, because it is that Christos Sophia consciousness that you are bringing down. That's the template that you carry. But the blueprint to get there, the path to get there, that's an old template, that's an old paradigm, still based in that denser energy of connection and relationship. And again, as we're going through this journey, this is part of our own evolution, and you don't know what you don't know, so be kind and compassionate and forgiving of yourself for the experiences that you have along your journey, and can be compassionate with each other for the experiences that you have within your journey, because again, it's all evolution, it's all learning, and it's all growth. And you can't be angry with yourself or blame yourself or judge yourself for that which you didn't know or that which you didn't fully understand. This has been a learning experience. It's been like a hands-on learning experience. And as you are the way showers, as you are very much leaders in this energy, especially for like true counterparts, true twin flames, and not everybody who claims to be twin flame is going to be twin flame, or not everybody everybody can be a mirror, but not everybody carries those same codes. So it's using your discernment and trusting what's true within your heart, and just allowing yourself to not lock you into a template, and not lock you into a label, and not lock you into any kind of box, but to allow yourself to explore that journey. The destination, you're still going to get there. Wherever it is that you need to go, or wherever it is your soul is guiding you, you're going to get there. But the journey is the journey. Like the journey is the journey. The journey is part of the whole purpose. The journey is where you grow. The journey is where you learn. The journey is where you evolve. The journey is where you love. And so you can't bypass the journey itself to get to enlightenment. To get to enlightenment, that's part of the journey. It's understanding. And when I say enlightenment, I mean higher level of consciousness. I mean growth. I mean, connection. It's not a destination. I had this analogy in one of the readings where it's like, if you're going on a road trip, say to like a theme park, for some reason they were showing me like Disneyland, and you're going to Disneyland and you're excited about Disneyland. Well, that's amazing. Be excited about your destination. Be excited about where it is that you're going. But don't ignore your road trip to get there. Don't ignore, like if you're going on a plane or going in a car, like don't ignore the journey that it takes to get there, because who knows who you're going to meet along the way, and who knows the connections that you're going to make. Or who knows how you're going to find out more about yourself and your passions. Maybe you discover a new passion for singing in the car. Maybe you find a new passion for knitting. This is all like a really poor analogy. Things that you do in your car. Maybe you love to travel and you love to fly and you love to, maybe you want to fly your own plane. Who knows? This is just getting off the rails. But now you get what I'm talking about. It's like you allow yourself to enjoy the journey because it's not about the destination. Be excited for the destination, but it's not about where you're headed. It's about how you get there. And so enjoy how it is that you get there. Okay, so that being said, I do want to do a little bit of a reading today. We're going to get some cards. We're going to channel with the unicorns because we've been feeling dragon energy and unicorn energy come through the past couple of weeks. So I figured why not bring in the unicorns, that magic energy. Unicorn energy, very magical and very supportive within that magic. So allow yourself, especially unicorn energy saying believe. Allow yourself to believe. You don't have to control anything. You don't have to force anything. Let that magic guide you rather than you trying to force or guide it. Let that magic of your journey guide you, and that's where you allow for that surrender. And I'm especially speaking to divine feminines. Allow yourself to surrender and be in that energy of magic. So we're going to get a card for the Divine Masculine, Divine Feminine, and the Union energies. And then we're going to go over to the Patreon for a deeper dive. All right. Divine Masculine, please. Where is the Divine Masculine at this time? We're still in the corridor of the eclipses. We have another eclipse coming up on, I think it's May 4th or 5th. So we'll do another channeling then. What's going on for the Divine Masculine? Where's the Divine Masculine energy right now? Gentleness. There's a new tenderness energy that's coming through for the Divine Masculine. I'll just channel for the Divine Masculine first. It says, be kind to yourself and others, honor your gentleness, speak words of love. Yeah, there's a new tenderness that's coming through. And I feel, as we've been channeling for the past couple of weeks, there's a new... Some of this softness is because there's a healing of the feminine energy. We've actually been channeling this for a couple of months, but it's really been coming in the past several weeks. There's a new energy that's coming in where they're healing and honoring of the feminine energy. In the past, there might have been a lot of wounded feminine energy around them. This could be mothers, this could be romantic partners, this could be exes, this could be sisters, friends, even children. But a lot of this is the wounded feminine energy, and so it almost like distorted their perception of what feminine energy really is. And so, especially if you're the Divine Feminine, then you might have actually really triggered those past experiences with feminine energy, especially if their own feminine energy had been repressed, if they had to man up, if they had to not express their emotions, or they weren't allowed to communicate their emotions, especially in upbringing. And that's going to resonate a lot for the global collective as well, because you see that play out, especially in men and women. You see that play out, especially in the roles that are ordained for more masculine and feminine energies as it's represented by males and females. Now, masculine and feminine energy is genderless, and that's really important to understand, that we have both energies within us, but you've seen it play out in the collective, especially when it comes to male versus female, and it was never meant to be versus anything. It was supposed to be working together, but that got very convoluted, and it became sort of like a controlling kind of energy where one wasn't honoring the other, and so neither was honoring each other. But it's not against each other. It was never supposed to be against each other. Both, when you bring both energies to the table, it's and we're going to be channeling Avalon energy soon. It's King Arthur and Guinevere. It's working together. It's Jesus and Mary. It's Isis and Osiris. What happens when the two energies come together? When the masculine and the feminine principle come together, it's a powerful force of nature. It's a powerful force of love, and that's what these connections are. And remember again that there's a very spiritual component to these connections, and we can't forget the spiritual nature, the energetic nature of these connections and of these relationships. It's not just a relationship that you've known in the past. It's a very deep-seated spiritual connection. And so I feel like the Divine Masculine is really healing the feminine energy within them, which is helping their own inner masculine to rise. And I feel like they're treating themselves much more tenderly, much more gentle than in the past, especially if they had been very judgmental of themselves or critical of themselves. I'm just getting like there was like this voice in their head, possibly even from upbringing, where they maybe they were bullied, maybe they were abused, maybe they were experienced negativity or criticism of some sort. But it's almost like there was this voice in their head that said that they're not worthy, that they said that they're not enough, that they said that they had to suppress themselves, they couldn't communicate their emotions or their feelings. But there's a new energy coming through here where they're having more self-compassion, they're having more tenderness and gentleness. And as such, they are recognizing, especially the divine feminine, they're recognizing her energy much more. I'm also getting there's a lot of healing within the sacral chakra being almost like that identity center, but also like the emotional center. There's a lot of healing of the emotions right now. So divine masculines might actually be having some heart expansions as well. And it doesn't feel entirely comfortable. There's a part of them that wants to resist that, because the heart expansion has them opening up, and it has them being more vulnerable, and has them being more intimate, especially with themselves, and asking them to be more intimate and vulnerable with others in order to form healthier connections. And that's not entirely comfortable for them, because up until this point, they had been in defense mechanism, they had been in survival mode. And so that's not entirely comfortable for them. And so they might be acting out in that discomfort, but there is a level of awareness here of that's an old pattern that they're acting out of. And there is a level of awareness here of being more compassionate with themselves and others around them, connections around them, especially if it's feminine energies, being much more compassionate. And I'm also hearing requesting more compassion from those around them. So they might be, part of being vulnerable might be speaking their truth, but not in a harsh way, just in a very vulnerable way, in an emotional way, and speaking their needs in order to have their needs met. And I feel like they had repressed that. They hadn't allowed for that in the past, but now allowing themselves to be more emotionally open and vulnerable and say, hey, I'm not happy with this, or I'm uncomfortable with this, or this is what I need for you, or can you hold space for me, can you support me, or whatever it is. So it's a very tender energy that's coming through here, and a very new energy for the divine masculine. It's, the divine feminine finds that very sexy in the divine masculine, that openness, that vulnerability, because that means that she knows that he can be available and hold space for her. And the divine feminine wants to surrender to the divine masculine, not submissive, but to surrender, to feel safe in the divine masculine's energy. And that's what this feels like. It feels very sexy and good for the divine feminine when the divine masculine can be open, because it gives her almost like that permission to be open as well, because she knows that he's going to hold that space. She knows that he's emotionally available and capable of being aware of his own emotions, and so holding space for hers as well. And that's where, as partners, you might go back and forth. The divine feminine can hold space for the divine masculine as well. The divine masculine doesn't take that on all the time. That's where, a relationship is never purely 50-50. Sometimes you have to hold space for each other depending on the circumstances and situations and what each person is experiencing on their individual journey. Sometimes the divine feminine needs to be held and wants to be held, and sometimes the divine masculine needs to be held and wants to be held. So it's really beautiful, tender energy coming through here. What's going on for the divine feminine? Beloved, you might be really connecting with the union energy. Prepare for your life partner. Exactly. Romance is returning to your relationship. Believe you are lovable. So again, this could be the counterpart that you've experienced this journey with. It could be somebody new that's coming in to show you that love, to show you that you are beloved, and you always have been if you doubted that within yourself. But part of your journey, divine feminine, was discovering that about yourself, trusting that within yourself, was honoring that within yourself, knowing that you are the beloved and that you don't need somebody outside of yourself to reflect that to you, that you find that and see that and honor that within yourself. And so That's where you released any codependency. But again, connection, relationship is about honoring each other, and you validate each other in healthy ways. You support each other in healthy ways. You lift each other up and encourage each other in healthy ways. It doesn't mean that you're not self-validating. It doesn't mean that you're not supporting yourself, but it means that you offer that to each other in healthy connection. And I feel like now that you've been on your journey of individual growth, Divine Feminine, you're recognizing that you are beloved. You are loved. You are unconditionally loved within yourself, within your connection with God, and even with a connection with a partner, that you are worthy of that love. You are worthy of the beloved. And this is part of your own transformation. And so you might be feeling that union energy. You can be feeling the anticipation, knowing that there is somebody in your energy field. You might not know them. You might not have met them yet, but you can feel that energy field of that union coming in. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say about the Divine Feminine here, but Divine Feminine, I feel like this is your next level. This is your next level. Somebody who is really honoring of you and cherishing you, and who is showing you love in just a higher respect and a higher esteem, and in a higher way, a heightened way. So you're learning through the energy of love versus that energy of pain and stress and intensity that might have been experienced in the past. So a number of different pathways might be opening up for you, Divine Feminine. None is better or worse. It's just different paths up the mountain. It's whatever is meant for you, whatever your soul thought was best for you. But it feels good. Like, it feels amazing, whatever this is and whoever this is. Just be open. Have no expectations. Just allow yourself to be open and in that energy of love and joy. I found myself, and I'm going to be sharing some of my own personal experiences in the soulmate reading, but I found myself just not lacking anything. I feel so excited for my life. I feel so loved in my life, when it comes to friends, when it comes to family, when it comes to just the work that I do. I feel just a lot of love in my life. I don't feel like I'm lacking anything. And because of that, I can feel this partnership energy. And I've experienced meeting other connections that are showing me what healthy communication and healthy connection and an open connection really is. And so with Divine Feminines, I feel like you're just experiencing this heightened state of love within yourself and within your life. And if you're struggling a little bit, then allow yourself to turn towards love. I had shared this, I think, with a client, and I think in another reading, where allow yourself to turn the energy towards love. If you're feeling lack in any way, turn that towards love. Maybe it's love for a pet that you adore. Maybe it's love for a passion project or a hobby that you really have fun and it's really joyful for you. Maybe it's love for your friends or for your family, especially if it's love for yourself. Just turn your energy, turn your focus towards the things that you love that are in your life versus anywhere that you feel like something is missing, because that energy is going to have a response from the universe. The universe is going to naturally respond to that energy, and it's just going to keep bringing you more and more opportunity for more and more joy and more love. So Divine Feminines, I feel like you're in a really beautiful state and beautiful place where there's a lot that's changing within you and a lot that's transforming in your external world as well. So beautiful. You can feel the beloved. And some of you might actually even be feeling the energetic connection with your counterpart. So you might be feeling heightened. You might be seeing them in dream state. You might be having telepathic conversations with them. You might be feeling more and more of that energy coming through, that union energy coming through. So beautiful. All right, what's the union energy between the two? Celebration, joy. This is like that Three of Cups, Four of Wands kind of energy. A positive outcome is assured. Celebrate your success. Enjoy your achievements. And I'm just getting crown chakra here. Allow yourself to be open. Don't close yourself off. Allow yourself to be open, especially energetically. There's a lot of magic that is coming through if you allow it. And magic is love. Love is magic. So if you allow it, then it's here. So beautiful energy. All right, if you are relating to this and you want to continue, you can feel free to come over to the Patreon and join us there.